Microphone is on, you guys. Whew. Hi guys, I'm Marley Silva and welcome back to my YouTube channel. How the hell are you doing? So it is February 11th. I am probably going to title this video, I don't even give a fuck about that. So, oh my god, my camera's at 1 tick. So the reason why I'm filming this in my work clothes, hair unwashed, is because I feel like if I go have a shower, which I'm gonna go do, and come and sit and film this video, I'll feel like I'll be sitting from a place of privilege, and I want to come from a place of greasy 9 to 5 clock in and out realness. The video is titled, have you ever clocked in for a job before? And your version of a wait time and mine are very different. So, this video stemmed from a conversation I had with a man today. Very important, high-standing, fancy guy. I'll put it that way. I can't really talk too much about it just because of obvious privacy and security concerns. I'll put it that way. But I can talk about the situation without obviously talking about the detail. So, I had a conversation with a man today. We were talking for hours, and we kind of came to a topic of like, he said something along the lines of like, whenever you wait for something or whenever something has to take time to finish or whatever, you spend a year of your life, a year and something, waiting for it to finish. And oh, I'm so sick. I can only allude to things because I can't talk about it, obviously. So he was like, yeah, you basically wait a year and something of your life just waiting for things to finish. And I had said to him, because when I first said that, it sparked something in me, and I was like, oh, I'm going to ask him this question. So I said, oh, well, I think it reminded me of my ex-boyfriend and like kind of like the tone of the type of person I was talking to. And I had said to him, have you ever had to clock in for a job before? And he paused for a minute and had to think about it like, oh, have I clocked in? Like, have I had to clock in? Have I had to clock in? Situation. And he had to think about it, and he paused and he was like, oh, no, I don't think I've ever had to clock in before. And I said to him, I said, when you have to clock in and out, when you have to sit and work shift work, 9 to 5, waiting, all you do is wait for the day to end, wait to die. That's all you do. Your life is your time. Your perception of how much money you can earn is based on how much time you can give, right? I clock in, I sit down for 8 hours, I'm paid for my time. So, you know, a lot of people that have not necessarily had to clock in and out of things, not even knowing it, right? Like, you can be the most liberal, hyper liberal person, and without even consciously knowing it, be so fucking entitled and so completely insufferable to be around because of your entitlement and your privilege. And those words get thrown around so deeply on the internet nowadays, from people of color saying white privilege, this, that, and the third. People of XYZ group saying, oh, privilege, bro, privilege. People love to fucking talk about privilege. And we all have privilege in our own right. We're all privileged in our own right, right? That's just how life works. But when it comes to certain levels of work or thinking, if you've never had to clock into a job before, you've never been on another person's time. And the reason I say this is because without even knowing it, if you've never had to clock in before, you're an extremely lucky and privileged individual. There's not a lot of people in the world that can say, oh, I've never clocked in for a job before. He had been one of those people. Another example is my ex-boyfriend, my most recent ex-boyfriend. I had asked him at one point in our relationship, have you ever clocked in or... Because when you can tell when you talk to someone and they just don't get it, that's usually why. So I had asked him, like, have you ever clocked in and out of a job before, my ex? No, my family had friends that I worked for. I would do landscaping through them. They would pay me, da-da-da. It's not the same. When you have flexibility in that, it's not the same as clocking in and getting paid. And when you're paid by the hour, when you're actually paid to clock in and out, your perception and conceptualization of the world around you is based on how much time you can give is how much money you'll receive. People that work on salary, people that do creative work and get paid based on whatever work they're doing, your time is more freely allotted because you're able to manage how you want to do things and you get paid for that. When you clock in and out, you're only paid based on the amount of time you're giving. And it's a different level of consciousness and it's a different level of understanding. And I've noticed that people that haven't had to clock in and out, people that haven't had the experience of actual work and labor, people that haven't had the experience of real life and being humbled in a way that you can't explain. Customer service work is a great example. Retail work where, you know, you could be looking great, you could be super smart, and you're still told that you suck and you're not good enough. If you haven't had that experience and you haven't lived like that before, you can have so much audacity, privilege, entitlement, and be so insufferable to talk to without even realizing it. And, you know, I just thought that that was so funny because and this actually made me think of like the reason in my last relationship specifically that I felt like he just didn't understand me or he didn't get it is because if you don't go through certain levels of trauma or you don't have certain life experiences and you live in this sheltered bubble of this is it and I've never had to work through anything and nothing hurts and I've never been told no and I've never had to do something I don't want to do. When you live in that environment and that experience, you feasibly and physically do not understand another person's struggle, another person's trauma. You can't relate in any way. You can, if you're the most healed version of yourself and you can hold space and listen and still not understand, that's one thing. But if you don't have any perception or conceptualization of like that person's experience and you just don't get it and you can't relate or have any rapport based on that, it is so hard to have relationships with people like that or to feel connected to people like that because there's no common understanding and there's no common consensus. And when there's no commonality in who I love, who I'm in love with, or, you know, this successful person that has ticked XYZ box and is doing this and doing this and doing this and up to date and da-da-da and da-da-da with technology or up to date with what else is important in life, work or whatever. You can't, there's a certain aspect that's missing out of that connection because they don't understand what it's like. And I literally remember I saw a TikTok and it was like when one person's traumatized and the other person's traumatized, they just get it. But when one person's traumatized and has life experience and the other doesn't, and they're like a golden retriever boyfriend, they're like, where's the rest of ya? And it's so true because like they live in this existence that like they just haven't faced or had to deal with certain things that you live and deal with on a day-to-day basis or throughout your life. And when people haven't had that experience or they haven't really had to go through those things, whether it's by choice or luck or privilege or they've had money in the family or connections or whatever the fuck you want to call it, there's a certain gap in relations. And you see this all the time on shows or different movies where there's this rich guy or this rich girl and they fall in love with a poor guy or a poor girl, and the poor person can't relate to them at all because they don't understand what it's like to be told no, or to struggle, or to have to put up with something you don't want to do, or have to go and attend and do things that fucking suck and be told no all the time. And there's a certain part of your character that doesn't develop or finish if you can't connect with it sucking. If all your life is acclimates and achievements and progression and fucking woo woo woo, you're never going to understand the person that had to fucking build themselves up from their bootstraps and pick themselves up and do it themselves and fucking claw and scratch their fucking way there. And this day, I'm sick as a dog. I'm so sick right now. My iPod comes tomorrow, which I'll talk about UPS in a little bit. This day showed me that I am so lucky to be single. I am so lucky to be by myself. I am so lucky to be independent, because this chapter is something that should be cherished and held on to so tightly, and I should be so grateful for it, because dating is a waste of fucking time. Sitting around with someone for 6 months, going on a bunch of dates is fucking pointless. The next person I want to be with, I want to spend my life with, and I want to marry. My camera battery's flashing. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute or two. Actually, wait. Just to make sure the video saved, I like turned it on and off. The next person I'm going to be with is someone I'm going to marry. I'm done doing the pointless fucking games. If I am with you and I want to be with you, let's go on a vacation and then be together forever. But, yeah, so I value this chapter so much because the amount of struggling that I've had to do, I'll never forget it. And if I'm with someone, they better add fucking value and make my life better than it is now, or you're not fucking being in my life, period. As for my iPod, it does say it's going to deliver tomorrow. UPS has absolute shit tracking. I've asked like 6 people at work today and they've all said the same thing. On Friday, they said the label was created and I paid for 1-day shipping, and it's Monday tomorrow and it's just going to magically be here. So did they ship it? Did they not ship it? Is it shipping on Monday? It's going to come on Monday? I would like to be in the loop. It's really fucking aggravating and annoying. And like, if it doesn't come tomorrow, I don't fucking care, but just tell me that. So yeah, you guys, that's it for today's video. I don't know what diary entry it is, but it's February 11th. Tonight is the Grey Cup. No, I'm in Canada. Tonight is the Super Bowl in the States, and we're having pizza and salad and garlic bread at my dad's and watching it as a family, as per friggin' usual. I'm sick, so I can't drink, which is really sad because I love to drink and watch football with my family. But just having family time will be nice. But yeah, I'm gonna go hop in the shower and scrub myself down and then go for dinner and the game. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys whenever I decide to film again. Bye.